For those of you who don't know me, my name is Micah. Anyway, I was invited to be part of this panel on human trafficking, basically because I was in Thailand, lived in Thailand for about 2 years, as I mentioned, and did some volunteer work at 2 different NGOs in Thailand that were focused on the prevention of human trafficking. So what I'd like to talk about a little bit here is just human trafficking in specifically northern Thailand, just some causes and preventions. Starting off with the current situation in Thailand and what is causing the problem of human trafficking, and then it's just some examples of the 2 NGOs that I worked at. So just to start off briefly with the current situation in northern Thailand, and Rose has touched on a little bit of this in her talk. But basically in northern Thailand, there are definitely some Thai women who are being trafficked, but the majority of the trafficking happens with ethnic minorities who have come from surrounding countries. And just different situations, poverty situations or political situations in the surrounding countries of the Mekong subregion cause people just fighting and different stuff like that, cause people to come across the border into Thailand, looking for better opportunity, looking for better jobs, looking to escape again in certain situations in their own home country. And yeah, just looking for a better lifestyle, maybe, education for their children or, more money. But once they arrive in Thailand, I think, the situation they come into is not a whole lot better than, maybe a little better than what they left, but not by a lot. Because the problem is that when they arrive in Thailand, they have no citizenship and they have no rights. And that makes them very vulnerable people within Thailand. Even there's a lot of situations too where these are ethnic minority people, living up in the mountains in remote areas, and they may even have children in Thailand, which by international law those children should be Thai citizens. However, they don't have their children in hospitals. They have them at home, and so the children they don't know that they should take their kids to have their kids born in the hospital, which would give them a birth certificate, which then can give them, nationality and the rights and benefits that come with that. So there's children even born within Thailand that are stuck in the same situation. And, like education, it is possible for them to go to school, but, they can't, even if they do go to school all the way through, they can't get a certificate, any kind of diploma that shows that they've gone to school or they've got an education. Poor healthcare. The healthcare is available, but it's at a much higher rate. They have to pay cash for a much higher rate. They won't be on the government, health plan. No availability of decent jobs. They can't buy land, et cetera, et cetera. So they're pretty stuck. And at the same time, their culture kind of being eroded by outside influence, outside cultures, whether that's Thai culture or foreign cultures. The existence of a lot of consumer goods. They're seeing developed people, with televisions, big houses, washing machines, cars, etc. And of course, like anybody, would like to have that themselves. And in this type of situation where people are so vulnerable, drugs become very prevalent, HIV/AIDS. So the situation is not great. And so what that leads to, of course, is them being very vulnerable to human trafficking, and the traffickers, of course, knowing very clearly what the vulnerability of these people are and taking advantage of it. There's a lot of obviously poverty and a lot of people in debt, and so the traffickers show up with a lot of upfront money and offer that to the families. And sometimes the families are tricked. Sometimes the parents sign a quote unquote legal contract. It says their daughters are going to go work as housemaids, work in restaurants, beauty salons, whatever it is. So that they think their daughters are going somewhere legitimate to get a better life. However, sometimes they're just straight up sold. I mean, that definitely, I heard about that when I was working for the NGO that I was with. Sometimes that's just considered a legitimate, way for the parents to make more money. They sell their daughters. And it's usually for about enough money to buy a television, from what I was told. And so anyway, once